Everyone told Gen Z they were financially doomed. Student debt they couldn't escape, a housing market they couldn't enter, an economy that handed them a global pandemic before they even had their first proper job. And yet, the data is telling a completely different story. Gen Z is now starting to invest at age 19 on average. Baby boomers started at 35. Gen X started at 32. Even millennials didn't start until 25. Gen Z is starting to build wealth earlier than any generation in recorded financial history. And in this video, we are going to break down exactly why. What are they doing differently? What do they know that the generations before them didn't? And what can you, regardless of your age, take from this right now? Let's get into it. Before we get into how Gen Z is building wealth, let's look at the scale of what is coming. By 2040, Gen Z will have accumulated $74 trillion in income. $74 trillion! According to Bank of America, Gen Z is set to become the largest and richest generation on the planet by 2035. They will swell to 30% of the global population within a decade. And here's the thing about that number that most people miss. This is not happening because Gen Z got lucky. It is not because the economy handed them easy conditions. They started their financial lives during a pandemic. They entered the workforce during record inflation. They are living through the most expensive housing market in history. And they are still building wealth faster than any generation before them, because they changed the rules. So what exactly are they doing differently? There are 5 specific shifts that explain everything. Shift number 1, they started earlier than anyone ever has. This one statistic changes everything. Gen Z made their first investment at age 20 on average. Compare that to millennials at 26, Gen X at 28, and baby boomers at 31. One study found that about 1/3 of all 25-year-olds today have investment accounts. That is a 6 times increase compared to 2015. 6 times in a single decade. And why does starting early matter so much? Because of compound interest, the single most powerful force in personal finance. Someone who invests $200 a month starting at age 20 will end up with nearly twice as much wealth by retirement as someone who invests $400 a month starting at age 30. Half the monthly contribution, twice the outcome, simply because of a 10-year head start. Gen Z is building that head start right now. While their peers debate whether the market is too risky, while they are still being underestimated, the compound clock is already running. Shift number 2, they rejected the one-paycheck model completely. This is perhaps the most defining financial characteristic of Gen Z as a generation. 60% of Gen Z say that a full-time job alone will not allow them to reach their financial goals. Compare that to just 35% of baby boomers who said the same. So what did they do about it? They built multiple income streams, not as a side project, as a strategy. 70% of Gen Z have a side hustle. That is the highest of any generation in history, compared to 50% of millennials, 33% of Gen X, and just 23% of baby boomers. And Gen Z earns an average of $958 per month from their side hustles, nearly $1,000 a month on top of their primary income. But here's what makes this truly different from every generation before them. Gen Z is not spending that side hustle money. 24% of Gen Z side hustlers invest their side hustle proceeds directly, compared to just 14% of the general population doing the same. They are not building a side hustle for a nicer lifestyle. They're building a side hustle to fund their investments. That is a fundamentally different relationship with money than anything we have seen before. Shift number 3,
They used technology as a wealth equalizer. Every previous generation that wanted to invest faced serious barriers. You needed a broker, you needed a minimum balance, you needed connections, you needed knowledge that was locked behind expensive seminars and financial advisors who charged $400 an hour. Gen Z grew up, and all of that disappeared. 65% of Gen Z investors use investing apps to manage their portfolios, apps that have zero minimum balances, zero commissions, and entire educational libraries built right into the interface. 67% of Gen Z bank exclusively at digital banks, online only, with higher interest rates and zero fees.
72% took active steps to improve their financial health in the past 12 months alone. Cutting expenses, building savings, reducing debt, investing more. And when it comes to financial education, 60% of Gen Z learn about investing through social media, YouTube, TikTok, Reddit communities with 2 million members discussing personal finance every single day. The information that used to cost money, that used to require relationships and access, is now free. And Gen Z was the first generation young enough and digitally fluent enough to use it from the very beginning of their financial lives. Shift number 4. They redefined what financial success actually means. Every previous generation had the same definition of financial success. Get a good job, stay for 30 years, get the pension, retire at 65. Gen Z looked at that path and quietly decided it was not enough. 44% of Gen Z expect to retire before age 60, not 65, before 60. The FIRE movement, Financial Independence, Retire Early, has taken hold of this generation in a way it never gripped their parents. Some Gen Zers are saving 50% of their income, targeting financial independence by their late 30s or early 40s. And 65% of 2024 college graduates said they would turn down a job offer that did not include an employer-sponsored 401k plan. They walked into their first jobs already negotiating retirement vehicles at 22 years old. Gen Z is not just asking how to earn more, they are asking how to be free sooner. That question changes every financial decision you make. Shift number 5. They watched their parents' generation get it wrong and paid attention. This might be the most underrated advantage Gen Z has. They grew up watching the 2008 financial crisis destroy their parents' savings. They watched people who followed all the rules, the house, the pension, the 30-year career, get wiped out in a single year. And they decided they were not going to build their financial lives on a single point of failure. 49% of Gen Z say they use credit cards and loans only as a last resort. They are the most debt-averse young generation in modern history. They watched consumer debt destroy financial security. They watched lifestyle inflation trap people in golden handcuffs. They saw what happens when you outsource your financial future to one employer and one pension. And they built something different: multiple income streams, early investments, digital financial tools, minimal debt, and a completely redefined vision of what their financial future could look like. Now here's the part of this story most people miss. Gen Z is not building wealth despite the challenges they face. They're building wealth because of them. The pandemic taught them that no job is truly secure, so they built income that does not depend on one employer. The housing crisis taught them that the old path to wealth, buy a house, build equity, is not available to everyone anymore. So they found a new path: equities, index funds, digital assets, business ownership. The information revolution put professional-grade financial tools in their pockets, so they used them, starting earlier than any generation ever could. Adversity did not slow Gen Z down financially, it accelerated them. So what does all of this mean for you?
Because here's the truth about everything we've covered today. None of these advantages belong exclusively to Gen Z. Starting early? If you haven't started yet, today is still earlier than tomorrow. The compound clock doesn't care how old you are. It only cares when you start. Multiple income streams? The same digital tools Gen Z is using to build side hustles are available to every single person watching this right now. Freelancing platforms, digital products, content creation, online services. The barrier to building a second income stream has never been lower in human history. Financial education? It is free. YouTube, podcasts, communities, channels like this one. The information gap that kept wealth-building knowledge inside expensive networks is gone. Rejecting the one-paycheck model? That decision is available to you today, regardless of your age, your income, or your current situation. The most important thing Gen Z figured out is not a secret. It is not a hack. It is not a shortcut. It is simply this. You cannot build lasting wealth by waiting for permission. You cannot build it by following the exact same path as the generation before you when that path is clearly no longer working. And you cannot build it tomorrow. You can only build it now. Gen Z did not wait until they felt ready. They did not wait until the conditions were perfect. They did not wait until the economy got easier, or the housing market opened up, or the student loans disappeared. They started with what they had, where they were, right now. And that, more than any app, more than any market condition, more than any inheritance, is the real reason they are building wealth faster than any generation before them. If this video gave you a new perspective on what is possible, hit that like button. It helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. Subscribe to Wealth Shift for weekly videos on the money mindset and wealth habits that actually change your financial future. And we will see you in the next one.